Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, traders. This is your weekly recap. It's the last week in August. Now, just looking at the all odds, the XAO on the Australian market, we're looking at a daily chart right now. And one thing we can see in particular the last 3 days, once, twice, and 3 days leading in to the weekend, we had a major bull run to the upside. The market just cracked to the upside. But if you go back and listen to my video uh, last week, my last week weekly video, you actually noticed I said that it does look like we're trying to push up, and I give you a formation, a pattern. So make sure you go check that video out because I show you a pattern that was preempting this that it might happen. So one thing we can see is it's nicely broken to the upside and broken past our proprietary moving average. This is the daily chart here, okay? If we just go over look at the weekly chart now, look at the weekly chart. Our weekly chart is still at the proprietary moving average, and it's acting now as a bit of resistance. Remember last time it got here? It actually got to here, then it got knocked back down. The difference is now though, notice how it just closed just above our proprietary moving average. Last time it couldn't do that. When it closed below and then went down. It might be coming back up. It's closed above it now, so that's a pretty big significant a bullish signal that it wants to now have a bit of a still continue this pop to the upside. But one thing I still do say is, look at this. We still are at levels of major resistance levels there. See the support here and the support here. See how it became resistance, and now it's around about or just above that that line through there. So I do say that is a bullish signal though on the Australian market to say it has closed above that trend line. And looking at the daily chart, you can see it's closed above the trend line there. That is a bullish signal that it wants to keep pushing higher now. So this pattern on the chart is saying to me that obviously it does want to keep pushing higher, but just remember, just keep in mind that who's in control of this market still? We still have this big, huge downward trend. And if you're looking at the pattern, the channels I've been notifying in the last couple of videos, you can see it's a bit of a channel pattern forming through there. Now, the sellers are still in control. Majorly still in control. We're still having a bit of a run to the upside. Do not fall in love with this upside as yet because it's still like a dead cat bounce, okay? Until the market says it now wants to start running back up to say 6,500 or above 6,000 mark, you won't want to start turning very bullish then. But the overall market is still bearish, and I do expect a lot of sellers to come in around the 5,500 mark if the market decides to actually get up there. So that's the all odds. Let's go check out the Dow. That's the top 30 stocks in the US. Right now we're looking at a weekly chart, and once again you can see what's happening with our proprietary moving average. Look at the sellers. The market broke through it, came back up, hit resistance, broke back down, came back up, hit resistance again, and now we've basically just gone sideways. If I bring it over and show you a daily chart, this is what the daily chart looks like. Now, if you remember with last week's weekly wrap, I drew this trend line, and I said that we've had a lot of support here, so because we've had a lot of support, once it breaks through, we're likely to find a bit of resistance. The market broke up, hit resistance, came back down, and came running straight back up. But as of Friday night, or Friday in the US time, we had a big down day, big down day at the proprietary moving average and struggling, still struggling. And you can see it's struggling around these say 1600 or 1170 a mark. So 11,700 market's definitely struggling through there. And you want to know why it's struggling through there? If you have a look at different price patterns, I guarantee if we bring up a weekly chart, we'll be able to see a significant resistance or support going back. Let's go check it out. Alright, so looking at the weekly chart right now. This is the weekly chart, and this is the exact same trend line that I drew on the daily chart. We're looking at the weekly chart now, and that was the daily chart on the Dow Jones. Remember how I said this is the trend line I just drew, just right here. This is the daily chart. This is the weekly chart. Look at this. Look at the support. Look at the support. Now look at that resistance right there. Bring up the daily chart again. That's the resistance right there. I was just notifying by identifying these patterns of price support and resistance. This support is likely to become resistance over here. And look what's happening right now on our daily chart. This is our daily chart right now, and it's absolutely struggling one more time, even at this level here, So there's a lot of resistance through there. If it does pop there and does start to break above that, we are likely to continue up. But right now, the the Dow Jones is now at a major resistance level. If we do have a look at the S&P market, the S&P market is the exact same thing as the Dow Jones. If we have a look at that, we're actually seeing that the market, once again, has support, and now found resistance, So it did have a bit of a dump during the start of the week, but look at the buyers just kick back in. But once again, look at the resistance all around there. Okay, we're having a huge amount of resistance around here. It got above here this time, but it's just struggling, and now struggling once more time again. So just to remember, and just to keep in mind, that this is still a rally. Yes, we have for the last month and a half been a pop to the upside, but if you look at a weekly chart, this is the weekly chart of the S&P, remember? Weekly chart, we're still hovering around this 13,000 mark. Why are we getting resistance around the 13,000 mark? Well, if I draw a parallel trend line, you'll see this back here. Look at this back here. See, there is support through here is likely to become resistance. Very, very crucial stuff. Very simple, but very crucial stuff to your overall trading. But just remember, we are still in an overall bearish market through here. Very, very bearish market. There's the channel. This is still a rally. This is still a dead cat bounce. So do not fall in love with the upside yet. Wait for the market to tell you it's going to run, and then if you want to buy and hold or do whatever you want to do. But don't take my recommendation on this. Get educated and get coaching, and that's exactly what we do every day in the trading room. But all I say is just watch the charts, read the charts, and learn how to read these charts, because the charts are telling you a story, and the story is telling you something where it's likely to go in the near future. If we are at major resistance and major support, we don't know where it's going to go. The story is saying nothing. The story is saying it's having a bit of a tug of war. Therefore, we have to wait. That's exactly what's happening right now. We're at a bit of a tug of war right now. The buyers are trying to bring it up, but there's a lot of resistance there. But on the Australian market has, let's go back and look at the Australian market here. Remember, the Australian market has just closed above here. But I do say there's still a lot of resistance around there, so we don't know what's going to happen, because then, again, there's a lot of support there, and there's also had a big run up to resistance. So I would not fall in love with this upside yet. Wait for the market to tell you. Wait for the market to show you that it's likely to have a run, not just a run, but above our proprietary moving average, which is resistance. Not just that, but above this trend line, which is now a big trend line to the downside. Big sellers. This is a weekly chart on the Australian market. Please, 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 do not fall in love with this upside yet. It is a bit of a rally, and I don't want anyone getting hurt. I don't want anyone thinking, that's it, let's buy. Because, seriously, it's still in an overall bearish market. Just got to understand how to read these charts, and that's exactly what we do in the trading room every day. This is your weekly recap. Right now, we're stuck between major support, major resistance. We don't know where it's going to go, but wait for the breakout, wait for the confirmation. I'll talk to you all next week. Trade in the stock market is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee your profit from the information provided. The information in these videos is meant for educational purposes only. That being said, I've been trading the market profitably for many, many years. So please, do your own homework and make sure you look after your current financial situation.